Yes.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Aric Fiscus, Brady Lining, and Todd Griffin.
How do you like our new branding?
I like it.
Pretty awesome. All right, welcome to episode 31 of the Play It By Ear podcast. I am Kilroy. Welcome my co-host, Todd Griffin. I think Todd might be frozen. Then we'll welcome Brady Lining. Todd is frozen in time. All right, so while he's frozen, he'll be back shortly. There he is. Now there's going to be two of him. Got to remove the frozen one. You see your frozen self up there, Todd?
It's black. It's just a black screen on my side, but I see the extra screen up there, or a window.
Well, your frozen self.
There we go.
There we go. Get rid of my frozen self. Frozen.
You got to let it go.
Here. All right. Let's do the housekeeping there on audio. Our home site, anchor.fm/play it by ear podcast. You can also find us on audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app, and most anywhere you find your podcasts, and that's various and sundry other places. If you go to anchor.fm, you can see all of our hosts. Actually, not all of them. There's some of them that are not on there, but according to our numbers, Spotify and Apple are our most listened to, or I don't know how you say that, our most visited hosts, I guess. I don't know how you do that, but at any rate, on video, you can find us on YouTube. Search Play It By Ear podcast. Follow our channel. You can see when we release our new episodes. Of course, now we're doing these Facebook Lives, and we certainly welcome everyone here. Kirsten's with us. Welcome, Kirsten.
Mr. Cookie.
Hey. Social media. You're probably watching us on Facebook. We're also broadcasting out to our YouTube channel. Twitter. I need to get our Periscope on Twitter. We can broadcast out to our Twitter page as well. But you can find us on Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2. Also on Instagram at Play It By Ear Podcast with underscores under all those words. Also, you can interact with us via email, playitbyearpodcast2020@gmail.com. You can also leave a voice message. Click the link at your podcast provider. And one other thing. Also, in regard to clicking a link, we come to you hat in hand. We do, and I hate asking for money. I feel like we're on a telethon or something, but I just want to say we do appreciate all of our earbuds, as Brady came up with that term, and we do have a slight expenses when it comes to this, and one of those things is the software you're seeing us on. It's called StreamYard. It's awesome. Again, you can see all those banners we put on the bottom, and the fact that we can broadcast out to different venues along the interwebs, as well as recording our audio and our video through the software as well. But again, we do have some slight expenses. There is a way for you to help us support our product, and we're not asking for. I mean, if each of you gave $1 a month, I mean, that would more than cover what we need to do here. But again, We do appreciate you. We hope to put out good content, and I guess enough of you like it that you spend your time with us, and we do appreciate that. So
That Ferrari's not going to buy itself.
Yeah, we
yeah, right.
we will also take cans of Spam, treat, potted meat.
But it must be armor. There's my camera. Must be
Yeah,
armor.
we don't want that low shelf smeat.
Exactly. So yeah, you do have that ability to on those various areas as well. And my wife is here, so no telling stories on my wife by me or any of you. Hello, dear.
Just realized it looks like my forehead is moving. It's actually a candle. I usually do this by candlelight, and I just realized that it was messing with me because it looked like my hairline was moving. And it is moving. It's going backwards, but I mean, it's not moving that rapidly. That's actually a candle on my face in case that was bugging anyone like it was bugging me.
Got a candle on your face? Are you happy to see me?
I actually mess with the lighting myself. My LED lights here in Deep 13 were a bit harsh today, so I'm trying a little bit different lighting. So it looks darker in the background, but it does not look like my face is spectral and ghostly.
Yeah.
Or not as ghostly.
Anyone that knows me knows that I am a bit of a candle freak. I usually have a candle burning every evening throughout the week, and then I do enjoy a good candle. So,
me too. I just bought a new one last night. Should arrive in the next couple days.
Brady, I would not call you ghostly. I would call you ghastly, but not ghostly.
I've been called
gassing
ghastly.
or gassing
Ghastly.
Ghastly.
Ghastly. Ghastly.
Yes.
My wife might say I'm gassy, but not ghastly. Anyway, now I'm telling stories on myself.
David says, is it possible to sell some advertising to some businesses or something? We have actually, we talked about that. Back when we first started, we talked about at some point going out and seeing if we could get some help.
We did. I got a funny story about that real quick. It was an energy drink that, I kind of about repping. And actually, it was spam, and all they did was try to get me to buy their energy drink, and they send me obnoxious emails. And this stuff, after I looked it up, is, basically a heart attack in a can, and I could not in good conscience foist it upon our public. So it was kind of funny. When I went looking, it was not what I was looking for.
So, Aric, can we throw out there, since David brought that up, if anyone owns a business or knows someone owns a business or has ties, to a business, a local business, we would be glad to trade a little back scratching. And
I know a certain architect. Wink, wink.
Yeah, we'd be happy to talk about your business and promote it for a little.
My Judge Schmales there.
You're no slouch, Aric.
You're a tremendous slouch, Judge. Sorry, Todd. I just rolled right all in it.
I see how you are. I'm trying to make us money, guys. Not make us money. I'm trying to, promote business and pay for our expenses. But anyway, like I said, if you own a business, are friends with a business owner, or just know a business that's just getting started and maybe looking for some, some promotion.
Or you just want to be a wealthy benefactor.
Yeah. A silent partner.
All right. Enough of this money stuff. I feel like a harlot. All right.
See?
Harlots. All right. All right. We are in the order where our topics will occur. So Brady and Todd and then me. So Brady, you are up.
Okay. So, to be frank, we were a little bit concerned about this topic because it is a little bit of a downer, but it's very timely, but it's also could be very celebratory. And you could probably tell by my swag I'm wearing. It's going to be very timely, but this is about a topic that is what celebrities passing, a celebrity death that impacted you. Everybody has their favorite musicians, actors, politicians, even, famous people that when they passed, it deeply affected you. And this is really timely because yesterday the world lost Edward Van Halen, and he is the reason that I picked up a guitar. back in the MTV days where they, I saw those Van Halen videos, and yeah, that's what I want to do. And not only he impacted me, but he impacted music forever. So I know I got a little bit ahead of myself, but there's celebrity passings that really deeply affected you. And so everybody should have an interesting list. We're going to have different answers. Some might surprise you. I have the feeling that Aric, he always throws us a curveball on these. So because he is a bit of a thinker. And so, I just kind of let us off with the passing of Eddie Van Halen, who died at age 65 yesterday. And, knew he'd had not been well for a while, but didn't know it was that bad. So, gentlemen, your comments?
Me, I'll go. I obviously saw that yesterday, and I actually saw it like 5 minutes after his son had posted that on Twitter. And I would never want to share anything like that until I see it's confirmed. But I kind of figured since his son was posting it, it was legit. I mean, every other day there's a celebrity death hoax, and I happen to follow Wolfgang Van Halen on Twitter, and so when I saw that, I immediately put that on Facebook, and I hadn't seen it on Facebook, and I thought, again, I hope I'm not starting one of those celebrity death hoax things. But
right.
Again, Brady came along a little later than you, but Eddie Van Halen was not in my playing so much as an influence, but definitely been a Van Halen fan since I started listening to them in late 80s, early 90s when I first would have started listening to even older Van Halen. But my list. It's kind of still happening, I guess, with this, but Eddie passing hit me pretty hard. I went out and mowed the yard afterwards, and it was kind of a time to think. And I think that one of the things that we always, when we on one hand, some might say there are more important people in the world than celebrities and musicians and movie stars and things like that, and that's debatable, but I think most of the time when we lose someone, when someone passes away, like the caliber of Eddie Van Halen or some of the other ones that we're going to talk about, we obviously feel like a piece of our childhood has gone with it. And I think that's probably one of the things that probably affects us the most.
Right.
And, myself, I was actually waiting to hear of another Van Halen tour. There have been talks about doing the whole getting Sammy and David back and doing that kind of tour again. And I was kind of hanging on to hope. I'm like you, I didn't know he was that bad. I mean, I knew he had been sick, a couple different cancers off and on, but not, I didn't know he was on his deathbed. And so Eddie's probably my top three as far as just weighing heavy on me as far as celebrity losses.
All right. Yeah, actually there was a stadium tour planned. The talk of that back in 2018. And it just abruptly, those rumors just quit. And everybody pretty much agrees that that's probably when he found out that, the cancer had come back and he wasn't well.
I'm very happy, though, that I was able to see them twice. Saw them. I didn't get to see them back in their 80s, but I was able to see Van Halen twice in the last 10 years or so. And it was glad I got to.
Okay, we do have some comments, gentlemen.
Yes.
Ben Higgins says he hopes that Styx outlives me or it might kill me, which I'm Kilroy.
Kilroy.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, and you're probably right. Cookie remembers crying his eyes out in 1977 when the Elvi passed away. Or did he pass away?
Like Burger King in Michigan says otherwise.
Yes. Grand Rapids got Whoppers from the Elvi for years. So Dallas, Tom Petty, as well as Kobe, still doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
I just realized that the comments are up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about that? See, there's our software. There's our expense.
Software.
So
Yes.
These things that allow you to interact with us, which is absolutely outstanding. Howard Williams says Robin Williams, and I agree. He
was on my list. Yeah, Howard.
Yeah.
That was definitely a shock.
My wife. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say we don't really think of, you think of comedians and funny people and people who's as a career make people laugh. You don't often want you don't really think about the fact that they're doing their job, and deep down inside, they're not as happy as what they make others feel.
Right.
My wife, some random sort of rock, somebody or another. I don't know.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. I figured a lot of people would say that, you know, because that generation of early 90s that they came of age with that music, you know, that hit at its peak and it was devastating to them. Ooh.
Howard Williams says musically John Lennon.
You know, every time I see that Monday Night Football clip where Howard Cosell announced to the world that, you know, John Lennon had passed, and you know, I was too young really to be in the Beatles, but you know, being a huge Beatles fan, yeah, that was a loss to the world. So,
and Kelly says Princess Di.
Yeah.
Yes, also on my list.
Yeah.
Not that I was, you know, at the time. I mean, I was pretty young. I think I was 20, 21 or so. You know, not that I was a huge Princess Di fan or follower or anything, but it's one of those things where I think probably most people remember where they were, you know,
Right.
when that came across the TV screen. Interesting thing, Cookie mentioned Elvis. Number one on my list, although Eddie Van Halen is quickly proving to, again, just feeling down in the dumps about that one. And, you know, we'll see how long that lasts. But for right now, my number one on my list was Michael Jackson. And I, you know, I remember talking to my brother, who's a huge Elvis fan. And I remember talking about, you know, when Michael Jackson passed away, and I was telling him, I was like, this is many people's Elvis, you know, I mean, you got the king of rock and roll, you got the king of pop. I mean,
Right.
I think to many people, Michael Jackson was their Elvis moment. So,
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you mine, and this is going to be. I'm telling you, I don't know why. I never watched the show,
Mm-hmm.
and it just hit me. I guess when it happened, probably. This death happened July 18th, 1989. And the name, and you may not even know from the name I give you, Rebecca Schaefer.
yeah. Can you give me a movie or a show? I remember the name, Aric.
Can I guess it?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Brady.
My Sister Sam.
My Sister
Yes.
Sam.
Yeah. Was that in the, sorry, go ahead.
Again, I didn't watch the show. I guess I don't know what it was other than she was roughly our age. I mean, she was like 3 or 4 years older, I guess, but we had just gotten out of high school, and this guy, I guess, knocked on her door, and she opened the door up, and he shot her. It's like,
Yeah.
Blank.
you know.
I think he was a crazed fan, obviously, but I think I have to reread the story, but I think there was something where she had already met him once, like, and he'd had a picture signed or something. It was some sort of deal like that, and then came back. I just saw that Linda, Brady's mom, mentioned Bob Hope and talked about, you know, him entertaining thousands of military people. I am obviously young to remember Bob Hope in his younger days, but I do remember Bob Hope and Johnny Carson kind of I would put maybe in that same,
Right.
to me, that same category.
Nikki Barr says Johnny Cash.
Right.
Howard Williams brings up another musician, Prince.
Yes.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That was actually number 4 on my list. You know, because that came out of nowhere too.
You put Prince ahead of Michael Jackson?
Well, that's a good question.
I can elaborate on that, because as much as I enjoyed Michael Jackson's music, and you know, he was part of my childhood, the baggage associated with Michael Jackson kind of tarnished his star with me a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and he had gone so far around the bend, you know, let's call it what it was. He was a very mentally ill man that just maimed himself physically and everything. And I kind of think the Michael Jackson that I grew up with was long gone. But, you know, Prince, I mean, that just came out of nowhere, you know, and Tom Petty also, same thing, just boom, there it was.
You could almost say something you just mentioned there. You said the Michael Jackson that you grew up with and loved was all gone. You could almost say then that we dealt with his death twice.
Yeah.
You know,
Very, very true.
Aric, along the lines of your Rebecca Schaefer, this person that I had on my list is probably a little more well known. Definitely some mainstream hits, but Brittany Murphy was kind of that way with me. Tragic altogether, but different type of tragedy. This Brittany Murphy wasn't murdered by a crazed fan, but obviously had some issues and ended up with some questionable people helping her, and passed away at a pretty young age of, I forget what. I mean, there were
20s.
Yeah, but I mean, there were drugs involved and illnesses and things like that. But kind of along the same lines, a young actress, probably close to my age at the time.
Wilford Brimley just died, and that one kind of.
Yeah, I mean, we joke about it, but Wilford, he was beloved, very beloved. I mean,
and there's no way Wilford wasn't in on the. I mean, he got the joke.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I think that's why he sometimes said diabetes instead of diabetes.
Diabetes.
So my
makes me short with my wife.
Finn from Glee, my wife says.
That was pretty much at his apex of fame. Oh, John Ritter, yes,
absolutely,
good call.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one in memory of Jennifer Fiskus, because I swear, had I don't know where I would have ranked in regard to this guy passing away, but the Crocodile Hunter. I mean, she went in the morning for 2 weeks.
He was on my list. Well, and let's be honest, as far as shocking deaths, I mean, you got a guy who wrestled alligators and crocodiles and snakes and everything else, and then a stingray, ends up killed. I mean, that's about as freak of an accident.
Too, because I had swam with stingrays before, and give you the whole thing down here in the Caymans about, no one's been injured in 87 years from stingray.
Yeah.
Thing. I go, okay, whatever.
I'd actually gone snorkeling post Crocodile Hunter and saw a stingray down there, and I that flashed through my mind. I'll be honest, it was kind of like but
another one that really bothered me for a long, long time was Heath Ledger. That was probably one of the few actors that kind of bothered me. And I this is going to sound very weird and probably a little shallow, I don't know, but he was so good as the Joker, and he was so good that it was hard to believe that person playing that role was no longer alive. You know what I mean? I think that's, not that his death wouldn't have been tragic alone, but when you coupled it with that great performance. Yeah. And then when you throw in the fact that when you read about how in character he was, and he wasn't right while he was playing that character, he was the method acting, he was, and maybe even somewhat, I mean, I don't know exactly where they were. I mean, I had just heard he pretty much ran himself down and was not very good as far as when he was filming that. And, who knows if that contributed, if he poured everything he had into that and it made him weak when it came to substances.
Yeah. Kirsten chimes in with Paul Walker.
Also on my list. Yeah.
Yeah. That was in the way that he went.
Yeah.
With the Fast and Furious movies, that was just like really just so odd. Yeah. One that I haven't mentioned yet.
Call on Heath Ledger.
Glenn Fry of the Eagles when he passed away.
That was pretty shocking.
I still think about that time because not only the Eagles, I'm a huge Eagles fan, but I had always hoped that I was going to catch the Eagles on tour. I'd never got to do it, and I'd banked on it. And then when he passed, it's like, I'm never going to get to see them.
I was fortunate I did get to see them. Of my wife who had bought those tickets. But I will say it's something about Glenn Fry, and maybe I was just off base. I don't know why I thought this, but Glenn Fry just never seemed to age.
No. He looked the same. And excuse me, I did not realize that. Just recently I read how sick he was, that he had rheumatoid arthritis and was just suffering. Just like those last few tours, that He was really physically suffering, and there was like, all the side effects from the medication he was taking and everything really took its toll. So
I remember one of the first celebrity deaths that kind of got to me, and I don't know. You would have to look up the year. So I would have been pretty young, and I don't even know if I heard about it like when it happened, or if there's something I read about when I was a little bit, or I heard about when I was a little bit older. But I'm probably going to mess the name up, but I think it's Heather O'Rourke.
Heather Rourke.
Yes.
The young girl from the Poltergeist movies, and her passing away. And then when you read about her sickness and stuff and what she went through, that was pretty terrible. And in actuality, that whole there was some weird stuff with that whole cast. I mean, she passed away. I'm pretty sure the older sister was murdered by a boyfriend or something. So definitely which kind of ties into the Rebecca Schaefer.
Right.
She was also Fonzie's stepdaughter on Happy Days in the later years.
Heather Rourke was?
Heather Rourke, yeah.
Wow. So what year was it when she passed away? Can anybody find that?
It was the
84, something like that.
When?
84, I think.
So see, I probably don't remember hearing. I might have seen it on the news. I would have been about 7 at that age, or in that year.
No, 1988. Sorry.
Okay, so I probably do remember hearing about it when it actually happened.
I have to mention, where like I got very emotional was when Ronald Reagan passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like hit me hard.
Of course, he had been in poor health for a while.
Right.
Not necessarily a surprise, but
I mean, you talk about part of your childhood and life, and somebody that's larger than life and heroic.
Yeah, Dominique Dunn was her older sister, and I remember reading about that as well.
Yeah,
I think she was an actress too, if I'm not mistaken.
Who?
Yeah.
Dominique Dunn, the sister of Heather Rourke. That's Howard's
in the movie. You're right.
Yeah.
There, Darren's Amanda Peterson.
Amanda Peterson.
Was she in Can't Buy Me Love? Was that her?
I know the name. I just can't quite.
Or was it the girl in? Was that the girl in Meet the Fockers?
Oh, she wasn't. She was the one in Can't Buy Me Love.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I liked her a lot.
So, one thing that I thought I would bring up on this topic is kind of miserable and sad as it is. Unfortunately, there are people or celebrities that I grew up with that that was her.
Yeah.
If things go as they planned, obviously, and people get old and pass away of natural causes, whatever, there are some people that I grew up with that I think will really hit me hard. And number one is Larry Bird. I often think about when the day Larry Bird passes away will probably affect me more than any other celebrity, athlete, whatever you want to call it. And hopefully we're many, many years away from that. But that's on my list of, if I'm alive when he passes away, it's going to really affect me. You guys have somebody on the list like that for you?
Well, Ben already said Styx, and any member thereof, I guess. But
would there be a hierarchy of?
That's kind of.
Hey, I mean.
Yeah, I got it. I get it.
I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, drummers and bass players. It doesn't. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
By the way, happy birthday, Devin Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of drummers who are old.
Happy 50th to our drummer, Mr. Devin Kennedy. So a lot of people turning 50 here in the next year or so.
The hell you say.
Nope.
And by the way, to throw a bassist in there, Ricky Phillips, the bassist of Styx, turned 68 today. So.
Really?
Oh, wow.
As well.
But, Todd, your question, I've always said that, and I'm not, Eddie Van Halen's passing would affect me deeply.
We've talked about that. We've had that conversation.
That. Yeah.
Because, well, and I'm going to, Brady, not to make it sound like but we've talked before, and Brady, I've heard you say that one of these days we're just going to see on the news that Eddie passed away. It's going to be, you called it exactly like it, but not recently, but over the years you've said that,
right.
Because he had the health, he had the mouth cancer, or he had,
right.
I guess lung cancer is kind of what finally did him in. But you've said on several occasions that we'll just wake up one morning and that it'll be on the news that Eddie Van Halen passed away.
Because he was a low-key private guy. If it wasn't music related, you didn't hear about him. He kept a low profile.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, our timer went off.
Yes.
I'll share these other comments here. Chris Farley from Kyle.
Oh,
yeah. Good one.
How's it going, Kyle?
Got Joe Vaughn. Is Norman Greenbaum still alive, or is he the spirit in the sky?
Joe, damn you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
You can follow me on the interwebs.
George
Michael.
David Bowie.
Good one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one messed with me a bit.
Well, let's be honest. 2020, we got Eddie Van Halen and Neil Peart.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Young, Emily, his wife said Luke Perry. That's another one.
Yeah.
That was very, took me back a little bit, too. Luke, he's a little older than us, but again, there's that kind of childhood young.
90210 tie.
Yeah. So,
all right.
The man still looked 10 years younger, though. You got to hand it to him.
Yep.
Blake Kibler, Stephen King.
What?
I thought Stephen King was still alive.
Stephen King's alive, isn't he?
Yes.
I thought he was.
There was Blake messing with. Oh, he's saying that when he passes away.
Okay.
Nah, gotcha.
Blake, I thought you were breaking news on us, man. I was about
to. That would have been.
For how William Wilson of the Beach Boys when he passes.
They know my love of the Beach Boys and my feelings about the Beach Boys. Yeah.
Gotcha, Blake. Yeah. Sorry, Blake. We're a little slow.
And my wife professing her love for Ricky Phillips as she always does.
Lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did.
Yeah.
All right. So good first topic there. So Todd, you're in the middle seat here. Hold on.
Topic chili. Let's talk about chili again.
Not chili.
We probably could. A lot of comments about that.
Let me edit that. So Todd, you're up. Topic
All
2.
right. Well, we started off a little on the downside, but good topic. Anywho, so I thought maybe it would lighten things up. A while back, we did a list of the world's dumbest animals, and that proved to be quite humorous, at least to us. And
gold.
So I thought, what else could we do that would be similar? So what I have found here, and I'm going to count on you guys, Aric. I'm assuming mostly you here as the tech guru, to bring up some pictures of these animals. But I have a list of the 20 animals with completely ridiculous names. So I'm going to read the names and then read about them, and then Aric, you can throw up on the screen any of these.
Please don't throw up on the screen.
Yes, don't throw up on the screen. Number 1 of 20, the Wonderpus photogenicus. The Wonderpus octopus's scientific name, Wonderpus photogenicus, alludes to its fantastical appearance. Wonderpus is a combination of the German word wonder, meaning miracle or wonder, and the English octopus. Photogenicus refers to the octopus's photogenic nature. These octopuses have rusty brown skin covered in white blotches, which form patterns that are unique to each individual. As the Wonderpus octopus ages, these patterns become more elaborate. Wonderpus photogenicus is also known for its ability to change its skin patterns and shape to evade predators, either by blending in with its surroundings or by mimicking a venomous animal. So there is the Wonderpus photogenicus. It is quite photogenic.
It is.
It's a
I feel like
beautiful
breaking
creature.
into Oasis, he's going to be the one, and after us, he's a Wonderpus. But yeah, that's pretty amazing. Wonderpus, that just kind of sounds like be an amazing cartoon or comic book character. Wonderpus. Photogenicus. That or a gladiator.
Yeah, very cool. All right, number
Very
2,
cool.
spiny lump sucker. the spiny lumpsucker. Members of the fish family Cyclopteridae are known as lumpsuckers because they are spherical in shape, resembling a lump of flesh, and have modified pelvic fins that act as adhesive discs aligned to suck on surfaces such as rocks and remain attached. Some species of lumpsucker are also covered in spines, leading to some pretty funny names such as the Atlantic and Pacific spiny lumpsuckers, and even the Androshev's spicular spiny pimpled lumpsucker.
He looks a bit surprised.
He looks like, are you photographing me? Spiny lumpsucker, that sounds like something Yosemite Sam would call Bugs Bunny when he was angry. You rude dude, spiny lumpsucker.
That was outstanding.
That was, yes. That last one though, I don't. There's going to be a lot of words in these that I read incorrectly, so appreciate a little lenience there. But Andriashev's spicular spiny pimpled lumpsucker. Now that's a mouthful.
It sounds like a personal problem.
Now, Todd says, or Matt says, Nannerpuss like he likes pancakes.
Yeah.
And Jabberjaw.
Oh man.
Number 3, pleasing fungus beetle. The pleasing fungus beetle.
He's a pleasing fungus beetle.
He's a pleasing fungus beetle. The beetle family, Erodilidae, whose members are known as the pleasing fungus beetles, contain over 15 genera and over 2,000 different species. The fungus part of their name derives from their tendency to feed on fungus, though some species also eat plant matter. Most species are pleasing because they are generally harmless to humans and may even act as pollinators. However, not all species live up to the aspect of their name, as some pleasing fungus beetles have become notorious pests.
It's pleasing to the eye.
I was going to say, very pleasing to the eye.
Very decorative.
Yeah. It kind of has the same coloring as the old Wonderpuss.
Wonder beetle.
Wonderful.
Wonderpuss. Activate.
Wait till you see this silly looking thing. The pink fairy armadillo. The pink fairy armadillo, also known as, I'll never Picasiago, is the smallest armadillo species in the world, with a length of 3.5 to 4.5 inches and a weight of around 4.2 ounces. Their small stature might explain the fairy part of their name, and the pink part is derived from their pinkish shell and lightly colored fur. Endemic to the sandy and grassy plains of central Argentina, the pink fairy armadillo is rarely observed by humans. Due to the lack of data on population numbers, scientists are unsure of the armadillo's conservation status, but the species is threatened by climate change, poaching, and attacks from domestic animals like dogs. I would think that thing would be in danger from every single thing on Earth.
It looks like a hamster with shingles. Like an armored hamster, like when the hamster in the ball gets mad and armors up. Like
a hamsterdillo.
Hamsterdillo. That's a good
I tell
name.
you.
It doesn't make to me.
Yeah. Richard Gere better stay away from that little guy.
Oh, Howard.
Oh.
Moving on.
I think I made a Richard Gere joke the last animal list we talked about.
I think so.
So seriously though, that thing's 3.5 to 4.5 inches long and weighs 4.5 or 4.2 ounces. Why is it only? First off, poaching.
Poaching.
Who is going to poach that?
I think you'd step on it.
Instead of coach purses, they want a poached pink fairy armadillo purse. I could see some, like Manhattan socialite lady who's about 80 years old. No, I don't want several or mink. Give me the pink fairy armadillo. And
why does your Manhattan lady have a very bad British accent?
Because she's pretentious like that.
Oh my goodness. That's quite a little creature there. All right, number 5, raspberry crazy ant. Raspberry crazy ant. Maybe
Trying
red
to
like a
find-
raspberry, but that's not how it got its name. This ant species is named after the Texan exterminator Tom Raspberry, who first noticed the ant's increasing presence in Texas in 2002. Originally from South Africa, the raspberry crazy ant has become an invasive species in America, slowly spreading across Texas and southeast United States. These ants are known to chew through electrical wires, causing short circuits, and are unaffected by most pesticides and ant baits, contributing to their invasive presence.
Wow.
It's the kind you find in a secondhand store.
I was working part-time at a exterminator. Man.
Yeah, that thing's a creepy little dude.
Yeah.
I don't like, never mind. Number 6, satanic leaf-tailed gecko.
Satan.
The satanic leaf-tailed gecko has a flattened tail that really does look like a leaf, which explains why it's called a leaf-tailed gecko. The satanic part of its name is more ambiguous, but may derive from the unsettling nature of its strange appearance. However, this gecko's unique appearance is valuable to its survival, serving as a form of camouflage that allows it to hang from the branches of trees and appear to be nothing more than a leaf. Satanic leaf-tailed geckos also hunt exclusively at night, feeding on insects like crickets and flies. Wow.
It looks like a dragon.
Now, Howard has a question. I don't know if is that about the previous animal or this one? Do they make a
some onomatopoeia there?
Or is it
yeah, didn't Ozzy Osbourne make a song, Mr. Gecko?
I think it says, however, this gecko's unique appearance is valuable to its survival, serving as a form of camouflage that allows it to hang out in hell, is what I would say, because that's why it's probably called a satanic leaf-tailed gecko. That thing looks very evil.
It kind of reminds me of a kid that was in 3rd grade with us.
Like the fruits
The eyes
of the devil?
the devil.
Yeah, that thing looks pretty satanic. I get what Howard's saying now. The raspberry.
Yeah.
Raspberry.
All right.
Yeah, I guess it'd be hard to spell.
7 of 20. Tasseled wabagong. The tasseled wabagong is a species of carpet shark. Sorry. With an appearance that's almost as strange as its name, it can grow up to 6 feet long and has a flattened body covered in colorful blotches that act as camouflage when it rests against the coral on the ocean floor. However, the shark's most defining feature is the fringe of dermal lobes that surrounds its head. These lobes resemble a series of tassels, hence the first word in the name, tasseled wabagong. The word wabagong, an Australian Aboriginal term that translates to shaggy beard, also refers to the appearance of these lobes. And
Okay, Howard, no comments on college girls and carpet sharks.
Now every bearded man I see, I'm going to talk about the
Nice
wabagong.
wabagong. The tasseled wabagong, is that because of the anti-nudity ordinances? It can't be fully nude wabagong, so it has to be a tasseled wabagong.
Although Howard does say Gene Simmons calls his tongue a satanic gecko.
Man, that's a scary looking critter right there.
And it's a shark. I mean, it's like, it doesn't look like a shark.
No.
Doesn't look like a carpet either.
But it does look like a wabagong.
But does look like a wabagong.
All right, next on the list, hellbender.
You can see, if you look on Facebook, you can see Kelly's comment. I'm not going to put it up on the screen. I'm going to leave that one alone.
For time's sake, I'm gonna say these, but we could skip reading about them. You can still look it up if you'd like to show a picture. But number 8 is the hellbender. I think I've heard of the hellbender before.
Salamander, isn't it?
Salamander, yeah. It's actually the 4th largest salamander in the world, after the South China giant salamander, the Chinese salamander, and the Japanese giant salamander. Next on the list.
There's your salamander.
There it is.
Yeah.
Also, with that orange and dark, like that's a common theme amongst these animals is the orange and dark coloring.
Who day?
9 of 20. A chicken turtle.
A chicken turtle?
Yep.
I can just see it in a shell going.
Endemic to the southeast United States, used to be a popular source of meat. It supposedly tasted like chicken, a trait that led to its name. The turtle is also known for its long neck, which usually approaches the length of its shell and enables it to quickly strike at prey like insects, frog, or fish.
Fist.
Fist. Wow. The chicken turtle. It's kind of
Chicken
confusing.
turtle.
Matt
It is
said
confusing.
Hellbenders reside in Brush Creek. How about
Really?
Really?
that? We have Hellbenders in the area.
Kind of sounds like a cult.
Becky says it's also a wine in Gatlinburg. So whatever that's worth. Does it taste like a Hellbender, the wine?
Hellbender pee.
It sounds like a playground insult. Why don't you just go drink some Hellbender pee?
You smell like Hellbender pee.
Yes.
Number 10, the star-nosed mole. I've seen the star-nosed mole before.
I think
I
we've
have.
talked about the star-nosed mole before.
Yes. We
It's,
have.
Star-nosed mole gets its name from the bizarre-looking star-shaped nose,
Wasn't one of the ugly animals we talked about?
it might have been, which is specially adapted for speedy foraging.
We must be speedy when we forage.
The nose consists of 22 appendages that are covered in almost 25,000 tiny sensory receptors called Eimer's organs. It's 5 times more touch sensitive than the human hand and more touch sensitive than any other mammal's touch organs. In fact, the star-nosed mole's Eimer's organs are so effective at detecting food that the mole can determine if prey is edible in only 8 milliseconds and consume its prey in less than a quarter of a second, making it the fastest foraging mammal on Earth.
That is a fast forager.
Next to a teenager.
I was just say. Wow.
Yeah, that's quite an ugly mole there. Number 11, the red-lipped batfish. You got to see a picture of this thing. It looks like a regular batfish in drag.
What?
Wait until you see the picture and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Now I see.
Is that a good description of it, Aric?
Yeah, you tell me.
It looks like the Miss Doubtfire fish. They're like it.
See if you can find a different. Like the picture I have shows it has like legs. It's standing on its legs. Maybe this
Fishnet?
Maybe the one on the far right corner down there.
Like maybe this one.
Yeah. Now that. Yeah.
I'm too sexy for my lips. For my gills, too sexy.
Oh man. You know, I guess I could read about it. It's one of the strangest looking fish in the sea with a face that looks eerily human. Bright red lips and pectoral fins that resemble bat wings.
It looks good.
If you've ever seen the movie Waiting, that term bat wing takes on a whole new. The reason for it is this animal's distinctive red lips, which are absent in other batfish species. See, it's unclear, but some scientists believe that these lips allow the fish to better identify each other during spawning and whenever it's performing in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Sam, looking good today. Thank you. Got my lips done. Time to swim upstream.
Sweet
It's like Jimmy Durante with lipstick on.
Yeah, it does very much.
12 of 20. I think this is on the dumbest animals, the goblin shark.
Yeah.
Let's get past that. 13, hummingbird hawk moth.
That sounds like a mistake.
It's named after 2 different birds, obviously, but it resembles a hummingbird far more than a hawk.
Is it a bird?
Hummingbird hawk moths have long proboscises.
Is it a plane?
They have long proboscises that resemble the long beaks of hummingbirds, and just like hummingbirds, use these proboscises to feed, sucking nectar from flowers while they hover in midair. Furthermore,
There.
Hummingbird hawk moths produce an audible humming sound, just like hummingbirds.
I'm floating in midair.
Midair.
right.
Outside.
That's a cool looking little guy.
It is. It's just unfortunately named.
Why does your hummingbird reading voice have a pretentious British accent?
I wonder if it's related to the Mothman.
I don't know. For leafy sea dragon.
That sounds like a code name for marijuana.
Howard said about the previous Animule. Does sound like a 15th level Marvel superhero.
All right, moving ahead quickly. The 15 of 20 on our list, frilled necked lizard. I think we've talked about these before, but I don't know that was the name of them.
So, is it a frilled neck lizard or a frilled neck lizard?
It's frilled necked lizard. Hyphen between frilled and necked.
Oh, necked. Okay.
Frilled naked lizard.
Ranger Dan, this big dog.
Yeah, there he is.
Didn't
I know
that
we
attack
talked about
Newman, Jurassic Park.
Yes.
These dudes. They will also spread out their frills to intimidate each other while fighting over mates or during territorial disputes.
Gosh, don't you wish that was just in high school? You know, you wanted to ask a girl to dance and your friend was going to, so you just start going, you know, you didn't have to fight or say a word. You just neck frills
frill
would
out
pop
your neck.
Back off, she's mine.
Number 16, the mustached puff bird.
Mustache.
The mustached puff bird is called a puff bird because it looks plump, round, and puffy. Thanks to its short tail and fluffy feathers. It also has a small tuft of white feathers around its beak that resemble a mustache, hence the mustached qualifier. These mustaches are more prominent in male than in females, and the species is closely related to the similarly named white-whiskered puff bird, which also sports a white mustache. You white-whiskered puff bird.
I was just thinking the same thing, man.
Is that the next Yosemite Sam?
Go ahead, Brady.
Wait a minute. Okay, what's it called again?
A white-whiskered puff bird.
What damn it, you white-whiskered puff bird? You varmint. You rascally critter thing.
Got three more here.
Or is it a Joe Biden insult?
That's what I was going to say earlier. You dog-faced pony boy.
Dog-faced pony soldier.
Pony soldier.
Don't be political.
Huh?
I said, don't be political.
17 of 20. Ice cream cone worm. This
Really?
thing looks absolutely foul, this picture that I have. Aquatic worms in the family Pectinaridae live inside tubes that they assemble from grains of sand and shell fragments. The worms secrete a glue-like substance from specialized glands that they then use to stick pieces of sand and shell together, forming a mosaic pattern that eventually becomes a tube large enough to house the worm. These tubes have a striking resemblance to ice cream cones, earning these worms the nickname of ice cream cone worm, although they are also referred to as trumpet worms since their tubes are shaped like trumpets. So that is the tube.
How does that look like an ice cream?
I was going to say, if you've eaten an ice cream cone that looks like that, you're eating at the wrong place.
Oh, man. But, Aric, see if you can find a picture of the worm, because I have one just that same picture, but the worm is beside it. Like, that's the cone, or the tube. Here you go. Right. This one over here is the worm. Like the one over, oh, you can't see what I'm pointing at, but all the way to there you go. That's the worm.
Ugh.
Looks like a I don't know.
I think it should be called the Cholito worm.
Oh, don't mess with my head. And ew.
And that looks like a deformed Alf snout.
Yeah, I've not seen any elves that look like that.
I said deformed, damn it. All right. 18, the strange-tailed tyrant. Now, that's a cool name.
Tyrant.
You strange-tailed tyrant, stand down.
It's a boyd.
It's Boyd.
19. Here you go. The fried egg jellyfish.
Not to be confused with its scrambled cousin.
Yep. There's the
tyrant.
There's the strange-tailed tyrant. Oddly enough, its tail looks exactly like a feather you would just find laying on the ground.
It's probably why it was tyrannical, because the rest of its tail had fallen out.
It looks like something. Its tail looks like something you would have on a roach clip you'd win at the Brown County Fair for hitting a balloon with a dart.
After you were hitting the leafy sea dragons.
It's like you can have that mirror of the three ladies in bikinis in the back of the pickup truck, the poison mirror, or you can have that feather on a roach clip.
Nicely played.
Some beads.
Or the airbrushed cowboy hat.
All right, so the fried egg jellyfish gets its name from its strong resemblance to a fried egg served sunny side up. Each jellyfish has a bright yellow or orange dome that looks like an egg yolk surrounded by white or yellow ring that resembles an egg white. However, this is where their similarities to fried eggs end. While most fried egg jellyfish are less than 7 inches in diameter, they can grow to be up to 16 inches wide. Far larger than any fried egg chicken. Fried egg jellyfishes live in the Mediterranean Sea, and although they are considered a nuisance to swimmers and fishermen there, they may actually be beneficial to humans.
Really?
Yeah, those are pretty crazy looking.
Increase your cholesterol.
Yeah.
All right, last one on our list of I can't even remember what this list was called now. Animals with
stupid names.
The most ridiculous names.
The screaming hairy armadillo. I think I had him as a referee in basketball back in high school. Screaming hairy armadillo. So, the screaming hairy armadillo is far hairier than most other armadillo species. Well, duh. It has thick, long, bristly hairs all over its body, even on its shell.
It's kind of cute.
That's a baby.
It's harmless, I have to say.
See if you can find an adult.
Let me see if I can find an adult. There being an adult.
No, I think that's just a regular old generic armadillo.
That looks like an armadillo.
No,
an armadillo.
This thing here. Keep scrolling because this picture I have, he's quite hairy. He looks like a mixture between an anteater and armadillo.
Looks strangely like
There's one.
Former president.
There
Zachary
we go.
Taylor.
There we go. So the qualifier screaming refers to the armadillo's tendency to loudly squeal when handled by humans.
Wee.
What was that again, Aric? Well, armadillos are usually like they say that they're close to the roads and everything. Armadillos is like, "Hey, I'm walking here," screaming armadillo, "Slow down!"
Well, that one does look old and cranky.
Reminded me of that scene in Fletch 2, which was devoid of many good scenes, but the guy had the mosquito in his ear, and he had to get close to the floor and go, wee!
Oh, man. This is classic.
That's my list.
All right.
Brilliant.
Outstanding. All right.
Wonderful. Wonderpus.
Okay. That's topic 2. Now we're on to my topic number 3. And again, as we always know on this show, I'm a game show host in training. Game shows are making a comeback.
Nice.
I hope to land one someday. So I will moderate a game called the Chicken or Egg Game.
The chicken turtle or what was the one thing? The egg.
The egg jellyfish.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Fried egg jellyfish. The chicken turtle or the fried egg jellyfish.
Game. All right. So, very simply, the object of the game is you two play for points, and you tell me which thing came first. So, you historians can tell me which thing came first. So,
interesting.
As always, we drew straws backstage. or we drew ice cream cone worms backstage. Brady,
Yes.
you will go first. So here's how this works. So Brady, you'll go first, and I'll give you the two things. You can either choose one or the other, obviously, as to which came first. Todd, you can dispute or you can challenge his choice. If you win the challenge, you get the card. Brady, if you get the point, you get the card. So I guess we'll score points since I can't send cards across the interwebs. All right. So, Brady?
Yes, sir.
Which came first?
Oreo cookies or Girl Scout cookies? Ooh.
Oreo cookies or Girl Scout cookies?
My gut is telling me that in some shape or form, Girl Scout cookies in general have been around longer, but the Oreo probably just was called other things. I'm going to go Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout cookies. Todd, do you go along with that, or do you challenge?
I agree. I think the original the Oreo idea, the Oreo makeup has been around longer, but I would say the brand, the Girl Scout cookies has been around longer. So I agree with Brady.
Okay. So the answer is Oreo cookies.
Man.
So no points for either. So just your as early as 1917, Girl Scouts began selling cookies as a way of financing troop activities. In the early years, Scouts baked cookies in their own kitchens. However, in 1912, Nabisco introduced the cookie with cream filling in 2 chocolate discs. 5 years, 1917 versus 1912. Today, the Oreo is the best-selling cookie in the United States. So,
regular Oreos are dual stuffs.
I believe we started with the regular Oreos and moved on to the dual stuffs. All right, Todd. Which came first? King Tut or the Sphinx?
Man. I'm going to say the Sphinx.
The Sphinx. Brady? King Tut or the Sphinx?
I'm going to agree with Todd on this one because King Tut was a very inconsequential pharaoh, and I think the Sphinx was quite elderly in the Old Kingdom. It harkens back to the days of Pharaonic dynasty. I'm gonna go Sphinx.
King Tut.
So the answer is the Sphinx.
Yeah, give me the points.
King Tutankhamun is well known not because his reign was of great importance, but because the tomb remained free from looting and still contained its resources when it was discovered in 1922. Just how old is King Tut? He's believed to have ruled in the 1300s BCE. Whatever happened to be? Where did this BCE come from? Why did we have to add the E at the end?
Political correctness.
Well, what does E even mean? I don't even know.
Common era. Before Common Era.
Before Common Era. Yeah, it's been a while since I taught that content. I think they've added the E since I taught it.
Yeah, it's been recently. Yeah.
Compared to the Sphinx, however, King Tut is just a spring chicken. The Sphinx, built as a part of Khafra's pyramid complex, is believed to have been built around 2500 BCE.
Daggone. We're quite the Sphinxters. There.
Brady, you're down 1-0, and it's to you. Which came first? Toilet paper sold commercially or dental floss sold commercially? Toilet paper sold commercially or dental floss sold?
My gut is telling me that people needed to get things out from betwixt their teeth for a long time, and toilet paper was a afterthought. That's kind of one of them fancy
and they-
things that the people on the hill had.
They didn't need to get things out from betwixt their cheeks.
Well, see, they had leafery for that. They had foliage for that. They had corn cobs and house pets. So, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna.
You go around wiping your rear end with your house pet.
No, I just it kind of went back to that to our
Richard Gere joke here.
well, no, I was actually going back to the gummy bear, sugar-free gummy bear. Like, make sure you watch out for your pets and everything else. But no, I'm gonna go dental floss because people needed to get things out between their teeth specifically, and there's really not a natural product that exists for that. I might be overthinking this, but I'm going dental floss.
I don't know. I think that people have probably been breaking off pieces of tree bark for years and digging things out of their teeth long before there was something. To be quite honest with you, I don't know the harm or foul in disagreeing on every answer just in hopes of getting the point.
Here, Kyle comes up with a good point, and we play this thing by ear as the.
Thank you, Kyle.
So we'll let this answer go, and then if you challenge and you're correct, you will get the point as well as the person who answered.
Okay, Kyle, you're not allowed to be smarter than the host, man. We can't have that nonsense. Actually, just joke. I was thinking something like that. You worded it much better than I was able to on the spot. But I'm going to disagree. I think that there was something to wipe the hiney before flossing the teeth.
No, the word here is commercial toilet paper. I think there was public toilet paper before then.
Aha.
All right, so the answer is toilet paper sold commercially. Before it became available for sale in 1857, people used this is good. People used stones, sponges, and their bare hands.
I was going to make a bare hand joke when Brady says, there's whatever, all the things you were saying. I was going to say you have your bare hands.
Stones.
Fine, grab me a rock.
And their bare hands. And other items used to perform the duties now carried out by TP.
You definitely didn't want to shake hands back then.
No. And dental floss, it wasn't until 1882.
I probably just used a piece of cat gut or something like that.
All right. So I
bull penis.
Hair. All right. So who got that point?
Todd did.
Todd. Okay. So Todd's up 2-0. All right. So the Kyle King rule will go into effect.
It will forever be known as the Kyle King rule.
It will indeed. You are ensconced in time here, Kyle, with this rule. Okay. So, Todd, which came first? Television instant replay or Polaroid instant photography?
I'm going to say
television instant replay or Polaroid instant photography?
I'm going to say Polaroid instant photography.
Polaroid instant photography. Brady?
I was going to say instant replay because even though instant photography could have existed, instant replay, I don't think it would have taken much back then to cut a piece of, that wouldn't have been instant, to cut a piece of tape off and immediately replay it. I think, yeah, you might have got me on top, but I'm still going to go with instant replay. Hey.
And the answer is Polaroid instant photography.
Man, it's bloodletting.
Something amazing happened during the Army-Navy football game televised on December 7th, 1963. On that day, instant replay made its debut. However, Polaroid instant photography introduced the instant camera 15 years earlier.
Oh, man. Shake it.
So I was thinking of the Kyle King rule here. should we play this? And again, I get back to game shows. Should we play this like Press Your Luck, where the person who chimes in, who buzzes in and gets the answer gets 2 points, and the people who agree, if they get the answer, they get 1 point.
How do we chime in?
Well, you don't. You just have
okay.
your question. But
I got you.
Anyway.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with it.
Sounds good. All right. Brady?
Uh-huh.
Payphones or the Yellow Pages?
This one's going to come easy to me. I'm going to say payphones because if you didn't have a payphone, you really wouldn't need the Yellow Pages. So people had payphones and they needed like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know who to call. What do I need? I need Yellow Pages. So I think that's going to be payphone.
Payphone? Todd?
See, that makes sense. But for some reason, I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking that you had Yellow Pages before you had payphones because people needed Yellow Pages at businesses and things like that before, with no need for payphones.
Now, the youngins may not know what the payphone is.
They might not know what Yellow Pages is. Now that there's Google.
Google. So I'm going with Yellow Pages.
Kyle Kingsolver.
What was his rule?
Kyle Kingsolver,
Kyle.
where you aggressively agree with your opponent. Very good. Very good. Very good.
I haven't agreed yet. I haven't agreed with my opponent yet.
All right. So Brady said the payphone. Todd said the Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
Published in 1886 was a directory of business names and their phone numbers. The payphone in a Connecticut bank was first installed in 1889. So a mere 2 years or 3 years.
Crap.
Close.
I still stand by my logic, though.
All right. Brady, you're down 4-0. You can get 2 points if you get this right. So, okay, which came first? CNN or the Weather Channel?
CNN.
CNN, he says with great emphasis. Todd, CNN or the Weather Channel?
I aggressively agree.
Aggressively agree.
Kyle Kingsolver rule.
The KKR.
Kyle Kingsolver rule invoked. Aggressively agree. And the answer is CNN.
Yeah.
So Brady gets 2 for his correct guess. Todd gets 1 for his agreement, his aggressive agreement.
My daughter, Reagan, her fourth grade teacher, fourth, fifth grade teacher, referred to her as CNN because she always had the information about everything. It's cool. She was called CNN until she was in junior high.
CNN came on the air in 1980, and the Weather Channel came on the air in 1982.
Ooh, close.
All right.
Close.
Todd,
Yes, sir.
which came first? Band-Aids or chapstick?
Bandits or chapstick?
Band-Aids or chapstick?
I'm going to say that, and so those are both the brands, right? The band's brand, Band-Aid and chapstick is the brands, not the product.
Yes, we're talking about product names.
Well, yeah.
Sold as the product named chapstick or the product named.
Yeah, this isn't asking if bandages or lip balm was first. This is asking,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
I am going to say that I'm guessing like there would have been some need for some usefulness for a company to start making Band-Aids before lip. I'm going to say, I'm not going to try to explain why I'm thinking it. I'm just thinking Band-Aids.
Band-Aids.
I'm going to aggressively agree because if it would have not been branded, which came first, disposable bandages or lip balm, I would say lip balm came first. But which one was marketed as aseptic disposable
Yeah.
non-reusable Band-Aid, I'm going to go Band-Aid. I think there's more of a need for a branded. Yeah.
The answer is no one gets a point.
Chapstick.
Oh.
By combining surgical tape with bandages in 1920, Johnson & Johnson came up with a product mothers across the world cannot live without Band-Aids. In the 1880s, Dr. C.D. Fleet designed another must-have product, chapstick.
He also was good with that. He design enemas too.
Could be. He sold his product on his own to the public until 1912, when he sold the rights and recipe to chapstick to another couple who were able to bring success to the product. So 1912 for chapstick, 1920 for Band-Aids.
Was his name Bert?
So there was nothing about a war involved at all. I was wrong all the way around.
There was not.
Yeah.
All right. So whose question is this?
I believe it is
Brady's.
mine.
Brady. So the question for Philly cheesesteak lovers around the world, which came first?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't see it. There you go.
Cheese Whiz or spray cheese?
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz?
Yeah. I'd say Cheese Whiz came first because it seems like there would not need to be as much processing or technology to make a somewhat liquefied emulsion of cheese. But spray cheese, to get it to spray, I'd say that would take a little bit more engineering. So I'm going to go with Cheese Whiz.
Okay. Todd?
I aggressively agree. Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz.
I agree. KKR vote.
Vote. And the answer is indeed Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz.
Spray cheese, also known as Easy Cheese, was first served by Nabisco in 1965. Cheese Whiz is a processed cheese spread, and it was first served by Kraft in 1952.
Those Nabisco people.
Yes, those
Some
National
dandies.
Company people. All right, Todd.
Yes, sir.
4 is our score. Todd is ahead. Cheesecake or coffee cake?
Man.
Staying on the cheese
Yeah.
bandwagon. Cheesecake or coffee cake?
See, that's tricky because a cheesecake is a pretty straightforward confectionery. But coffee cake, it seems like there's lots of things that fall in the coffee cake category. Pretty much anything with crumbs that fall all over the table when you're eating it is a coffee cake, it seems like. I'm going to go cheesecake, though. I'm thinking, just have in my head like old-fashioned, fancy people eating cheesecake.
I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go coffee cake because cheesecake, there's baking or there's refrigeration involved in a lot of things. A coffee cake, you could have whipped up in the olden days without, refrigeration or an ice box. You could just make the coffee cake like a strudel.
I thought of that. I did think of the refrigeration aspect of it.
So I'm going to go coffee cake.
Okay, Brady says coffee cake. Todd, you said cheesecake?
Cheesecake.
And the answer is, gotta put the score up. The answer is cheesecake.
Nice.
The writer Anthonysus is credited with writing the first cheesecake Greek recipe in 230 A.D. Although it is believed that they were making cheesecake as early as 2000 BCE.
Wow.
It's believed that coffee cakes originated in Germany, and it was not until 1879 that coffee cake became a commonly used term.
Wow. I commonly used term, but the object had been around a long time.
Are you disputing the chicken or the egg?
Yes.
The chicken turtle or the fried egg? Damn it, what was that thing?
Jellyfish.
Jellyfish, yeah.
All right. Brady?
Yes.
Racquetball or tennis?
Tennis. Here's why. It's played on grass. It was originated in England where they could play on a lawn. A racquetball court requires a certain structure and a very bouncy ball. And I know that that bouncy rubber ball did not exist, at least in Europe, until after the Aztecs were discovered by the Spanish conquistadors because they thought the rubber balls were possessed by Satan. So for real,
Are you shitting me? I'm sorry.
no. Well, when the Spanish arrived and they saw the Aztecs playing Pacatak, which is a ball game made from naturally occurring rubber, and it bounced higher than anything, they would play with the inflated cow bladders in Europe. They thought it was possessed by the devil. I just taught this in my class last week.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I am just wondering.
No, I'm being really serious.
Boy, those North Adams kids get an outstanding education.
My gosh.
They do.
All right, Todd, is it tennis or racquetball?
I'm going to aggressively disagree.
Aggressively disagree. You say racquetballs.
Yes.
Racquetballs. And we have a tie game.
Oh my goodness. You know, I only went with that. I only went with that because after his explanation of it and historical trip back in time there, I thought it would be great if he's wrong about this.
So we have.
See, I kind of muddied the waters. I was messing with your head because that sounds so outrageous, like it's made up, but it's true.
It's true.
All right. So 8-8 is our score.
Not a
Todd.
good. Sudden death.
No, Todd ends the round here. Shoots and ladders or Candyland.
Chutes and ladders. Or
Shoots and ladders. You say that with great confidence.
No, hang on.
He's just saying shoots and ladders.
I was just repeating them. Chutes and ladders. Candyland.
Candyland.
Candyland?
Candyland.
Candyland.
Man, I'm going to say chutes and ladders.
Chutes and ladders. Brady?
I'm going to go. I don't really have a big reason. It just seems like Candyland came from somebody's imagination sooner. You know, if you kind of think of that Alice in Wonderland-ish kind of thing, or Wizard of Oz-ish kind of trippy thing, I'm going to go with Candyland.
Candyland. Chutes.
Ladders.
With the game concept originated in ancient India as snakes and ladders, and it made its way to England in 1892 before becoming the game of shoots and ladders. Milton Bradley in America pioneered Candyland in 1948.
I'm glad they changed the name. That would have been a terrifying game as a Ute. Snakes and ladders.
And ladders.
I'm tired of these mother bleeping snakes on these mother bleeping ladders.
All right. So I propose our final round here as being a round that you bet. So Todd, you have 10.
Like final yo party.
Yes, final yo party. So do you each have something to write with?
Yes.
All right. You can bet any number of your points on this question.
Okay, I've written down my number.
Okay. Todd, you tell me when you've written yours down.
Hang on a minute. Damn ink pen. All right.
Okay. You've written your number down?
I have.
Okay.
I'm putting my pen down. So do I have to write my answer down too, or do I just write my numbers down?
Just your number.
Well, you can write your answer down. That'd be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll put it up here on the screen. Blow Pops or Tootsie Pops?
Ooh.
Blow Pops or Tootsie Pops?
Having ink pen issues.
What other kind of pen is there? That's not you, but that's kind of like one of those codfish kind of statements.
While you're writing, my sister-in-law Rhonda says useless knowledge at its finest. Yes, it is. You always learn something on this show, especially Brady's outlandish.
I was going to say, if you're talking about Brady's cat gut rant and cow stomach,
Cow bladder and rubber
cow
ball.
bladder.
Kyle King celebrating the Kyle King rule. No lead is safe.
Indeed, Kyle.
With the Kyle King rule in effect. All right. Brady, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Blow Pops or Tootsie Pops? First of all, what was your wager?
Don't you want to know my answer first?
Okay, let me hear your answer first then.
I said Tootsie Pop
Tootsie Pop?
because the Tootsie Roll, I think, had been around. And I think that it just seemed like natural to put a confectionery sheath around it. And since it already existed, and I don't know. I have no reason except, and the commercial's been around for how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie
One.
Pop? 1, 2,
Ooh.
3, 3. So I said Tootsie Pop.
Tootsie Pop. Your wager?
Don't you want to know what Todd's answer is first?
Who's hosting this game, Brady?
Exactly.
I'm at, okay. Do you want to know?
I want to know your wager. Don't diss the host. We need to know your wagers. If we need to create the
Fine.
Yeah, Richard Dawson wouldn't have put up with this crap.
exactly. I know
You're with Raymond Burr.
you're all whited out there.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
you just got to say it.
Three. 1 or 2, 3 or 4.
All right, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
All right, so something you said there is that Tootsie Rolls have been around forever, but have they been around longer than gum? Than chewing gum? So I'm going to say, because I think chewing gum has been around longer than Tootsie Rolls.
But we're talking chewing gum with a confectionery sheath around it.
I know, but the confectionery.
Some Amish person put some rock candy around some chicle back in the day.
I'm going with Blow Pops because I was using the same line of thinking, but I was thinking gum has been around longer than Tootsie Rolls.
I'll give you that. Gum has been around for longer.
And I don't think you're going to be able to see it.
Yeah. Okay.
4 points.
4 points.
I had 5 at first, and I scribbled it out at 4 before I put my pen down the first time, by the way. In all transparency.
Okay, your final chicken or egg answer. You like that?
I did. I was waiting.
Tootsie Pops.
Oh.
Brady wins 12-6.
Ooh.
Came from behind.
Now this is amazing to me. So Brady, you and I seems like we should remember this. In the early 1970s, Charms Candy Company created the Charms Blow Pop.
Yeah.
The first lollipop with bubblegum in its center. In 1988, the Charms Candy Company was sold to the Tootsie Roll Company, which had been manufacturing Tootsie Pops lollipops with chocolate-flavored Tootsie Rolls in the center since 1931.
Wow.
So not even close. So Brady storms back.
Well played.
With the help of the Kyle King rule.
Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle, Todd says that there's a pox on your house.
Brady, you moose-gnashed puff bird.
You white-whiskered varmint.
Another
you red-lipped batfish.
Rhonda says, way to go, Brady.
Carpet shark.
Howard enjoys our minutiae. So thank you. And again, the power of the Kyle King rule, no lead is safe. So,
Kyle, I think Kyle, back in one of our earlier episodes, if you're still listening, I told a story about a good memory that I have with you, Kyle, and that is you and another friend of ours was over at my house, and we decided we would see what would happen if we took one of those logs of cookie dough like you buy and just throw the whole thing in the pan without cutting them into actual cookies. Just put the log in the pan, and it ended up being one of the best desserts ever.
Log in the pan.
It was essentially the outer shell was cookie and the inside was cookie dough, and it just kind of volcanoed. It kind of just like erupted down and made a misshapen confectionery treat.
I was like thinking of that song. You put the pie in the coconut. What's that song?
The lime and the coconut.
The lion
Yeah.
with the log in the pan. Yeah, I had forgotten it. Does Charm still sell those flat oval suckers?
Yes.
Charm Pops, yes, they do.
You can see them like Valentine's Day. They'll be heart shipped and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you
Yes.
Wonderpus photogenicus.
Country song, log in the pan, log in the pan. All right. Gentlemen, good times as always. And
Gentlemen, schmiddlemen.
all right, we'll do the housekeeping duties again for the 13 people who are still with us. Find us on anchor.fm/play-by-ear podcast. If you want to access our prior episode catalog, audio style. Also
Catalog
on
in the pan.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and the iHeartRadio app, and most anywhere you find your podcast. And while I'm thinking about it, please, if you would, wherever you get our podcast, be it on any of these outlets or I'll talk about YouTube here momentarily, give us a review, and you can do that on Facebook.
A good one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Please.
Without saying, please give us a good review. Of course, Apple takes those things pretty seriously, and you give good reviews on Apple and you get moved up on their little food chain, whenever that works. But
Do we have any reviews at this point?
we have some.
Okay, I did. Yeah, I thought we did.
So please review us. So certainly on YouTube, if you give us good reviews there, we get moved up in their algorithm somehow. So,
You might have mentioned this. I might have blinked out while you were saying this, but Facebook reviews as well.
yes.
Did you mention that? Yeah, definitely a recommendation / review on Facebook, please.
Yes. Video, YouTube, search Play It By Ear podcast. Follow our channel there. You can get notifications when we're certainly broadcasting to YouTube at this point, as well as Facebook, and you can find our video episodes there as well. On social media, on Facebook, at Play It By Ear podcast, Twitter, and we'll get that what do they call their little video thing? I forgot. It just flew out of my ear. That thing that comes up out of the submarine,
Periscope.
Periscope, there you go. Periscope. Got to get that going too. But Play It By Ear Pod 2 is our Twitter handle. At Play It By Ear Podcast on Instagram with underscores between all the words. Interact with us by email, playitbyearpodcast2020@gmail.com. Leave a voice message. Click the link at your podcast provider. You can leave a voice message there.
I haven't had a voice message in a while.
No, we have not. But we do appreciate all the comments here.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go back to the comments. Howard says cherry flavored. They still sell those suckers. And thank you. Enjoyed. Kyle enjoyed also.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
We need 3 matching tattoos of our logo.
How do you know we don't already have them?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a
Thank you,
family
Kelly.
show here. We would show.
Thank you, Kelly.
Oh yeah, I love the show. Thank you, Kelly. And let me get back to the housekeeping here. Again, you can interact with us. Click the link at the podcast provider. And we will come
I suck at that.
one more
Liver.
time. People,
Sorry, Eric.
liver. Yeah. Again, you do have the opportunity to click the link at your podcast provider to help support what we do here. We do have some expense. Come on, I'm making a plea for money here.
You harlot. You lady of the night.
Yeah, there are some expenses to what we do here, including the software that you're watching us on. Again, if each of you just $1 a day, I need some of that music in the background that they play.
Where's Sally Struthers when you need her?
Yeah. $1 a day. That's what sounds like Catherine Hepburn.
I was going to say.
Anyway, you can click that link. You can give a donation to our show.
We need some sad ass dogs or something in the background.
I was about ready to make a Sarah McLachlan joke.
I could share my screen, put a sad ass dog up there. All right, but again, those links do exist there at your podcast provider. If you like what we do here, we'll take any help you can give us to help with our expenses. But,
Do you want to make money?
well, all right. Thank you again, and yes, you've scared your daughter, Brady.
I think so.
So yeah,
She's beckoning me for bedtime stories.
Yeah, you told some stories on this show. Let me tell you.
Yes.
All right. So again, join us next week. We're going to make this a habit on Wednesday evenings, and we'll put those out on Facebook, and you can join us. We appreciate that. But
Except for next Wednesday.
Except for next Wednesday, because Tom has a show. But we'll do
Yes.
that Tuesday, right? That's what we
Yes.
decided on.
Yeah.
Tuesday of next week, because I have parent-teacher conferences on Thursdays. Can't do it
Ooh.
Thursday, but
Yeah.
Tuesday of next week, please join us.
We'll figure it out.
I have conferences that night too. So yes, Tuesday.
How about that? All right. So,
Exciting week.
yes. Join us Tuesday of next week. Catch our audio being released on maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, but 1 to 2 days here coming up. So join us for episode 32 coming down the pike.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.